the Gould Mine podcast.
Walk me through the first time, because you were 23, so you were young. And it sounds like at first you were doing some wholesaling / flipping, or how did you get into it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were doing a little bit of wholesaling, a little bit of flipping, a lot of short sales. So back in 2006 to 2009, that was the real estate, and the economy ran into a little bit of a hiccup there, right? And so we were doing, yeah, just a little bit. I think it was about 30% of the market was short sales, by the way. And so we were doing a lot of those. And what we did was in real estate, I think the best partnership structure is having a hustle partner and a money partner. And the money partner provides the capital, and the hustle partner does 100% of the work, makes 100% of the decisions. And so what we did was we were borrowing 100% of the purchase, and then out of pocket, we were self-funding the renovations. And so we were able to reinvest our profits and build them or build up to 3 rehabs at a time over the first 3 years of our career. But then the properties got, the 3 houses we had got stale and they weren't selling. And at that point, it was like, oh my gosh, what is happening? I had to get a 0% interest credit card and start living off of that, because all of my life savings were in these 3 houses. Because we were probably too aggressive with reinvesting into the company, right?
Sure.
And yeah. And then in the middle of it, I ended up hitting my head, had a health scare. And, the doctors thought I had a couple of seizures because of when I hit my head, I shook a little bit. It turns out I'm just a wimp and I pass out if I'm stressed out. And so I passed out, hit my head really hard and had a concussion. But because they thought I had seizures, I wasn't allowed to drive for 2 months either. 6 months. And so credit card bills are piling up. I have these 3 houses that are just stuck, and, going to break even on one, lose my shirt on another, and make a little bit on the third. And, at the time that my girlfriend, I had a beautiful moment in the hospital because I had to wait 48 hours to know if I was going to be okay or if I was dying. It was on a weekend, and they just didn't do the test till on Monday, and it was Saturday when it happened. And I remember looking over at my girlfriend of just a few months, and I had this beautiful, like I don't know if you've seen in the movies where the hero rises above the dark clouds and everything's like blue skies and shiny. I had this beautiful moment of oh my gosh, I want to marry this woman. And then I went back into the darkness and realized, oh, this is the rock bottom moment of my life. My wife or my girlfriend, I can't afford to put a ring on her finger. I may be dying. I have no idea. And I said a little prayer to God, just hey, if I'm dying, help me out with that. But if not, help me find a way to marry Kelly. And so despite not being able to drive for 6 months, despite having the 3 deals that just weren't going well, we found a way, and we did 40 short sale listings that year, which short sale listing is just awful. Don't recommend it for anyone, but we found, we happened to be real estate agents, even though we were more investors at the time. And so we just found a way to make some money outside of those bad deals we did. And then, we made a little pivot. Rather than having our money partners bring 100% of the purchase and then we self-fund all the repair money, we went to them and said, hey, we've been with you for 3 years now. Would you be willing to lend us 100% of everything? And then we'll just get you your debt return when the property sells. And all of them said, yeah. And we're like, oh, well, this is nice. So I don't have to put my life on the line when I do a flip.
Yes.
And instead of being restricted, that was the first main secret to scaling that we did. Instead of being restricted by how much capital we had, we were only now restricted by the amount of capital we could find.
Deal.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then that's how, like, I started out in real estate with a $0 net worth, and that's how we got up to 250 flips at the same time. And I think that was like 2016, 2017, something like that. And, then we just went on this little run, and, I was just so crazy focused on with, Simon Sinek talks about, being clear on your why, right? My why became, hey, I want to marry Kelly. And then we go on the run, get through all those problems. I get married to Kelly. And then it's so interesting when you've done it this as long as I have, you realize that you have to change your why. It has to evolve and grow. Because like I was married to Kelly now, well, now what? I got to find a new motivation. And then it became, hey, we're going to do more deals than anyone. And, I don't know, there's not any stats on investors if we did or not. I think we might have in our market. Not, we were certainly top 2 or 3 in our market and what we were doing. But, and then things got stale again a little bit. Like it became about doing the deals and then I'll never forget it. I kept having a friend in a mastermind group say, hey, Jim, you got to look into these lease purchase deals. You can make more money, take less risk than you guys are doing, and you can build passive wealth with it. And we were just doing flips. All you're doing is you're as good as your next deal. Like you got to hit on it. And so we tried one out, and there's 2 tenant buyers that were in a battle for a property. One had $30,000 down for a house. The other had $40,000. And I was like, oh, well, I guess there's a demand for this thing. That sounds kind of nice. So we got the 40 grand from one of the tenant buyers, and down payment money on lease purchase deals, by the way, isn't taxable till they move out of the property or buy you out of the deal. And so, $40,000 of flip money versus $40,000 on lease purchase down payment money. There's a sizable difference there when you factor in taxes.
Tremendous. Yeah.